Okay, here we go. Another one. Shirley, just so excited. It's Sunday afternoon. Was you going to say something?
Oh.
Yeah. And before we start on 1999, I got some notes that I made on the last couple tapes that I got to read in here. But then in 1997, I went to Sioux City, and and I may have mentioned this in one of the other videos, but they specifically showed my warehouse that I had to consolidate our business because, you know, well, we were doing good. I think in my 9 years managing, I had 5 probably good years and 4 not so good. But they had the company Terra wasn't doing well, and they were cutting back. So we had to consolidate my group of Tennessee and Kentucky, and we consolidated Springfield, Kentucky, which was a major one of our warehouses, into Springfield, Tennessee, and it was a mess. Just to be honest with you, didn't have the right help, maybe not the right sub managers, but the place got dirty and chemicals all over the floor and stuff. Just the opposite of what you're supposed to do. And so I remember going to Sioux City, and this guy Dale that I knew, he did a presentation and showed my warehouse as an example of what not to do. Didn't say anything about how we took 2 warehouses and combined it into one, and it was a headache. But it made me feel bad, obviously. And then when I came back from that, probably Woody was involved in all this and saw my mess and everything, and that was part of the reason I got demoted, probably. And that's okay. I mean, shoot, we've had a great 20 years since then. So anyway, that and that one part of talking about going to Gatlinburg, I'm always talking about having the chemical companies. And one time we didn't do a chemical company thing. Is Shirley and I took Brad and Jason to Gatlinburg, and we've got actual videos of that. I remember Brad and Jason walking into this knife shop. I remember taking them on some of the kind of rides, movie type rides they have, like what's the name of that one place? You're not with me, are you?
Ripley's?
Ripley's. She's with me. See, old brain number 2 over here. Thank you. We took them into Ripley's and did the ride and stuff. That was kind of neat. And let's see. I've got a note here. We need to do over October through December 1997. Oh my God. So then, and then I said something about the details of Germany, and she did good on the details of Germany. I went back and looked at the 97 tape, but I think we missed some stuff in October through December. We're going to have to go back and do. But she did good. She mentioned Versailles. She mentioned the fashion show and the tour. I did a tour of BASF while she was doing that fashion thing. Okay. I mentioned the Monsanto meetings that Bill Hipps had. I think he had them like 3 in a row. It was great big meetings. I mentioned we had a casino night, and I remember drinking and playing blackjack at this thing. And in a regular casino, I couldn't have done near what I did. And I remember kind of cheating this stuff on purpose, and nobody said anything. And it was just kind of crazy. But we had casino nights, and I think some of the people at my table were not happy. But anyway. I remember doing a radio interview, and I think it was at Bill Hipps' thing, but it could have been at a Jeff Kazizik ICI thing where I did an actual radio interview with this radio station guy, and I kept saying, "Oh boy, this sure is an opportunity." And I think I said it 2 or 3 times, kind of lame when you think back on it. But I remember a lady, and I can't remember her name, in south of Jasper, a dealer that I used to have in southern Indiana. I heard that radio interview, and she had mentioned good things about me. I was a good chemical rep, evidently. She liked me. Let's see, Dale, Indy. Oh, I mentioned the thing on the Louisville store closing it down, and that was on my 1998 tape. And I probably closed that store in 96 or 97 because in 98 I wasn't the boss. So the only thing I can think of is Shirley wrote Louisville down in her book. So maybe it had to do with when I was selling TVA type stuff. I remember going to Kentucky with Mike Foley. We went to Louisville and we went all over that area. And those were good times with Foley, and we had set up a lot of customers. I forget how many acres we set up, but I don't know whether that was in 98. It seemed more like 95 or 96. So I'm not sure what she meant when she wrote down Louisville. But when I sold that store, I remember getting in an argument with Dale, who was a friend of mine, but he went up and he was a regional manager or division manager at that time out of Indianapolis. And we got in a kind of a piss and match about this store, and we ended up getting it in the South, and he wanted to get it for the Northern group. And I just remember that. And I remember Paul and I having talks about it. Nobody was happy with me at the moment, but we did get the store. And then in, let's see, I want to make sure, yep. Oh, this is only going to be a 10-minute tape. I got a weird problem with these tapes. Why I don't have more time. Shirley mentioned that she did some cooking for Dad for his birthday, and she actually made fudge and this strawberry jelly that Dad loved. He put it on his ice cream. And she did that for 2 or 3 years in a row. But I remember this specific time she wrote it in her calendar that she made fudge and jelly for Dad. What else I got? Okay. Let's see. I can't figure out, this is what I got to ask Brad about, is this 95 Mustang, and then is something about buying a Mustang in 98. But I thought it was a 95 Mustang, so I got to ask Brad about that. We went to Myrtle Beach in 98. We think it was 98. We might have went there before or after. I know we went there 2 or 3 times. But I think that the reason that Shirley and I went to Myrtle Beach once is because we bought a timeshare just for one time. They tried to sell us a multi-year timeshare, and it was in a condo in Myrtle Beach, and we had a good time with that. We drove the Ford Explorer, and I think in the parking garage I dinged it and broke a backup light or something. I had to call it in, and Rod was the manager at that time, and he had to do a report on it, and I think I had to take safety training because of it. It was, corporate stuff back then. And Rod was kind of a dingy guy. It was my boss for half a year. Then he got replaced by Spencer. And then 98 Destin Cottage down in Destin, I think was a house that we had, I think after the roundhouse. And it had some bugs. I remember sitting on the porch reading a book. Some kind of bug was flying over there, and I threw a book and killed it.
That's a first.
I remember it so well. And evidently there were some other bugs in the house, but it was a neat little cottage. It just, had bugs. Let's see. I mentioned Shirley wrote down Mary and Blair in one of her journal entries. And the kid's name was Blake. It wasn't Blair, it was Blake, by the way. On that TVA barge where they took us for a big trip out of Clarksville, Spencer went on that due to my invitation, and that worked out well. So anyway, I catches up notes on that. I just don't know why we're down to less than a minute. So that's my catch up, and we need to start another video for 99. I think we'll just start over at that point.